All right, so we're going to continue going through the review, the patterns of natural selection worksheet here. We just did number 1, so now we're going to do number 2 here. So it says seed cracker birds have either large beaks or small beaks. They do not have medium-sized beaks because medium-sized beaks do not allow for adequate cracking of seeds. So it says no large beaks, no small beaks. They only have medium beaks. So if we look at these 3 choices, which one do you think it would be? So it's going to be disruptive selection. Okay, why is it disruptive selection? It's going to be disruptive selection because we have only small beaks and large beaks and no medium beaks. So in that blank, that second blank, you need to write disruptive selection. Okay. Now, in that graph next to that blank, you need to draw this purple line, this curvy M, because this is what the graph would look like if this scenario were to happen. We'd have this curvy M instead of this dashed green bump there. All right, number 3, a scientist measures the circumference of acorns in a population of oak trees and discovers that the most common circumference is 2 centimeters. There are very few acorns with circumferences of 3 centimeters or 1 centimeter. Only the 2 centimeter circumference acorns survive. So it says 2 centimeters survive, 1 centimeter and 3 centimeters do not. So take a look at these graphs. Which one do you think it would be? So this one's going to be stabilizing again because we have that middle number, the 2 centimeters again. Okay, the 2 centimeters is the middle number. It said not a lot of 1s, not a lot of 3s. So we're going to write stabilizing selection in that blank. Now in that graph, we are going to draw a big hump just like this pink line, a long skinny one. All right, let's do the next one here. Okay, a population of Madagascar hissing cockroaches lives in a woodpile. The cockroaches are eaten by lizards. Because the lizards have small heads, the lizards are unable to eat the very largest adult cockroaches and instead prey upon small and medium-sized adults. Over time, only the large-headed lizards survive. So it says only the large ones survive. None of the other ones survive. Not the small, not the medium. Only the large ones end up surviving. So if we only end up having large ones, which graph do you think it's going to be? It's not going to be stabilizing because we don't have the medium ones. Right? It's not going to be disruptive because we don't have the small and the large ones. We just have the large ones. So it's going to be directional. So go ahead and write directional in that blank. And then in that graph, you are going to draw a hump to the right because they're slightly bigger than they used to be because only the big ones ended up surviving. All right, next one. Female birds that lay close to the optimum number of eggs have the most surviving offspring. Those that lay fewer eggs or more eggs have lower fitness. So they can't lay too many eggs. They can't lay too few of eggs. They have to lay just the right medium number to survive. Which one do you think that one is? So that's an example of stabilizing selection because the medium amount in the middle is what we ended up with. Okay, so stabilizing selection, we're going to write that in the blank. And then again, for that graph, we need to draw a long skinny hump just like this one right here. All right, next, a population of birds with various sized beaks eat seeds. Seeds can be eaten by birds with small beaks. Larger, thicker seeds can be eaten by birds with larger, thicker beaks. During a drought, only large, thick seeds exist, so only the large, thick birds survive. So we have only the large birds surviving. So if we look, sorry about that, if we look at these, which one shows only the large birds surviving? We should get directional selection here, okay? Because only the large ones. It can't be disruptive because it doesn't say small and large. It can't be stabilizing because it doesn't say the medium survive. So we're going to write directional selection. And again, we're going to draw this bump to the right of the normal bell curve. All right, next up, black rabbits and white rabbits are both able to survive because they can camouflage into the white and black rocks in their environment. However, the intermediate gray rabbits do not survive. So there are only white, really light colored, and black, really dark colored rabbits. So if we look at these, which one do you guys think that is? If we only have black and white, not any in the middle. So this would be an example of disruptive selection, okay? So we're going to write disruptive selection in the blank, and we're going to draw an M shape, okay? All right, 2 more to go. Small lizards have difficulty defending territories, so they end up dying out. Large lizards are more likely to be preyed upon owls, so they die too. Over time, only medium-sized lizards end up surviving. So only the medium ones end up surviving. So if we look at our options here, if we only have the medium ones, which one is it going to be? It's going to be stabilizing selection, right? So we should have a hump just like this one, okay? A tall, skinny one because we only have the medium ones surviving. Last one here, women often have complications during labor while giving birth to very large babies, whereas very small babies tend to be underdeveloped. As a result, medium-sized babies are the ones that end up surviving to adulthood. Okay, so only the medium babies end up surviving. So if we look at these, which one does it end up being? We should get stabilizing selection, okay? So again, draw this hump, write down stabilizing selection, and draw this tall, skinny hump. Now, your job is to finish the rest of this worksheet, okay? You gotta fill in the definitions up top, all right? You gotta fill in the graphs, write down what each of them is down here, and then down here, you're gonna create a graph. So it says, for your study, you will be examining a specific population of spiny cacti, which is originally in genetic equilibrium. A road is built quite close to the study site, which keeps away the treacherous and parasitic insects, but with the road comes the tourists. In many desert areas of the US, passing cactus lovers like to pick up a souvenir cactus to take home with them after a day trip out into the desert. This is a serious problem in some areas because the tourists always take the better looking cacti, and these happen to be the ones with the middle spine numbers. Years of collecting have left their toll on the roadside cacti. Using this background knowledge and the data collected below, create a graph of both the original population of cacti and the current population on a piece of graph paper. So it says place the number of cacti on the y-axis. Okay, so we're going to put these on here right now. Y-axis, which axis is that? Is it the up and down one, or is it the horizontal one? Vertical or horizontal? The y-axis is the vertical axis. So I'll scroll back up. Let's zoom out here. So the y-axis is this up and down one. Okay, so we're going to write number of cacti on this y-axis, and it says count by ones. Okay, so you're going to start down here. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. Okay, and then on the x-axis, we are going to write number of spines. So down here at the bottom, number of spines. Now pay attention. It says we have to start at 70. So in this first box here, we're going to start right at 70. So even if you're numbering the other side right now, what I want you to do is stop and write a 70 here so you don't forget. So this first line, this first box, we're writing 70. And then it says count by twos. So 72, 74, 76, 78, etc. Okay? Now you're going to graph the original population. You're going to connect the dots. And then the second population, you're going to connect the dots. And you should see a pattern like one of these graphs. Okay? And you're going to have to write down what the pattern is. Okay? So you guys are finishing up this worksheet for the rest of the class. If you have questions, feel free to ask the sub. Turn it in when you guys are done. It's for a grade. And that's it. Have a great day.